Hi, this is Mrs. Katz, and today we're going to go over how to find the GCF and LCM for a set of two numbers. This is a quick review for my kids as I've already taught this, but I thought it might be helpful for you to see how I taught it to them. So we're going to start with number 1, and this happens to be in their MSG on page 10. The two numbers we're dealing with are 15 and 40. So I'm going to take 15 and 40, and I'm going to put them on what we called a sled. And now I'm going to be looking for numbers that they share in common, factors they share in common, something that can divide into each of them evenly. So if you take a look at 15 and 40, they both are divisible by 5. So I'm going to choose 5. 5 goes into 15 3 times because 3 times 5 is 15. And 5 goes into 40 8 times because 8 times 5 is 40. Now we learned in class that the GCF is on the left. So GCF on the left. The factor 5 is the one factor that they shared in common that came out to the left. That is our GCF in this case. If there's more than one factor out to the side that we've pulled out, we would multiply all those factors together to get our GCF. Our LCM, we learned, is all of them. So what I mean by that is all the factors on the very bottom edge of our sled are going to be multiplied to get our LCM. So in this case, our LCM would be 5 times 3 times 8. And 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 8 is 120, I do believe. So our LCM is 120 and our GCF is 5. Okay, I'm going to do one more example for you. So if you take a look at number 3 down here, move it up a little bit. Number 3, we are comparing, or we're trying to find the GCF and the LCM for 12 and 54. Again, I'm going to put them on a sled, and I'm going to look for common factors that go into both of those numbers. I know they're both even because they both end in even numbers, so I'm going to choose 2. 2 goes into every even number. We talked about that in class when we went over our divisibility rules. So 2 happens to go into 12 6 times, because 6 times 2 is 12. And 2 goes into 54 27 times, because 27 times 2 is 54. Now, it may take some of my students a little bit of time to figure that out, but they certainly have the tools to do so. Now I take a look at the next set of numbers I have here. 6 and 27 still share a common factor, so I am not done. We're going to give them a new sled, and we're going to find a common factor between them. It turns out that 3 goes into both 6 and 27. 3 goes into 6 2 times, and 3 goes into 27 9 times. Now I'm going to look. 2 and 9 share no other common factors except for the number 1. So we're done doing our sled work. Now we have to find our factors. So again, GCF is on the left. Our factors on the left are 2 and 3. So our GCF will be 2 times 3, which equals 6. Okay. Our LCM, however, is all of them. And you can actually see that when you pull all those factors together, it makes an L to remind you that that's LCM. So for LCM, we're going to take 2 times 3 times 2 times 9. I sometimes like to group my numbers in ways that make it a little easier for me to multiply. So 2 times 9 is 18. 18 times 2 is 36. And 36 times 3 is 108. So 108 is our LCM. That's a quick rundown on how we found the GCF and the LCM.